What's going on, guys? Chris from Auto Academics here, and today's video is, well, it's more of a vlog video, I guess, than anything else. It's gonna be very short, or at least this part of it is. I am currently in my 2022 Audi S5, and it has the B&O audio system. And if you guys saw my review, you know that I thought it was pretty decent. I did have one woofer in my door down there, the passenger side door, that was pretty much blown, and fortunately the dealer was able to get that replaced free of charge, because again, my car does still have factory warranty on it, so all of that kind of stuff, even though I bought this car pre-owned. Stereo sounded decent, but I kept reading in forums that you could make the sound better. And so that was something that I really wanted to look into, because I'm very much into my music. I'm very much into audio. And, so I learned that there is a guy named Bruce Miranda who sells ready-made speaker parts for your cars. For Audi, particularly A5s and S5s. He's done extensive research on cars that had the B&O sound system like mine, as well as the standard Audi sound system, whichever one, whatever that's called. And he's had some pretty good success. Quite a few people have used his work and referenced it and everything, and have had wonderful results. And so I decided to jump into that arena as well, because again, I love my audio, and while the B&O system was fine, if I could make it better, that's definitely what I would like to do. So I decided to take on that project. So I did reach out to Bruce, very communicative, gave me everything I needed. We communicated back and forth many times, and that process was very smooth. He answered all the questions I had, and I never once was concerned about anything. So I ordered the speakers from him that I wanted, which in this case it was I didn't want to do the entire car, because there are definitely some areas that I do not feel comfortable with changing those speakers out. But this car, I don't remember how many speakers it has, but it has quite a few, component speakers in different places. Everything from the A-pillars to the center dash up there, to the doors each have two speakers. The rear doors have two speakers, and then there are even some speakers in the back C or D pillars back there. So anyway, today I decided that I was going to tackle the center channel speaker, the center speaker up on the dash, because I figured that's got to be the easiest one. It's right there in the front, should be no problem at all. So I got to work, and well, this is where we come to the point of this video, okay? Typically on YouTube, you'll see how-to videos for stuff like this. I'm gonna give you a how not to. So I got in there, and basically this is just a PSA announcement. I did read that you do have to be careful when you are taking out the grill that goes into that that center dash area, and I will show you where I'm talking about there. So this part right here, okay? Now, mind you, I had no plans on recording this at all, which is why, I've gotten this far into the stages, but because of the mishap that I had, I figured I would give you guys a little PSA, and give you something to hopefully pay attention to. Some people did pay attention to, or some people this did happen to, and so I was aware of it, but it still happened anyway. And what I'm talking about is, as I was taking the speaker grill off, you need to use some trim removal tools, and I have some. Unfortunately, mine are a little bit long, and so I had a hard time actually getting inside there to to actually get down inside, because I kept hitting the windshield. The windshield's literally right there, so it was pretty difficult getting my trim tool down in there and get underneath. When I first started, I actually was pulling up Sorry, I keep covering the camera. As you can tell, this is not a well-produced video at all. But I kept pulling up the metal grate that's on top as opposed to the trim, the plastic trim that holds it, you know, the actual housing itself. And I knew that was something you had to be careful with. The metal grate does come off separately. As you can see, those yellow clips in there, but it's not necessary. And so I tried to make sure that I did not take it off, because again, the information from the forum said you don't need to do that. So that was my goal. So that meant I had to get my trim tool down inside a little bit deeper to actually get underneath of the plastic housing. Front ends worked fine. Okay, so all these ends right here work just fine. Not a big deal at all, because I have room to work my trim tool. The problem is that once you get back here, you start losing some leverage, and there are clips here, here, and back there in that corner. Sorry, trying to get the camera there. Back there in that corner, as well as a couple clips along the front here. Front clips easy, back clips not so much. I knew that you need to raise and pry those clips off, and they're just metal clips. I knew that you needed to raise and pry them off as parallel to the windshield as possible. I'm trying to demonstrate with my hand, as opposed to twisting and bending. But when you're working in here, it's easy to twist and bend. I also knew that if you were in a warm area, that it would make things a little bit easier. It would make the clips a little more pliable, so that, you know, they're not brittle and don't just automatically break off. So my car stays in my garage all the time. It's springtime here in Georgia right now. So this morning when I checked the weather, it was already like mid 60s, maybe even high 60s by that point. It's going up into the 70s today. It actually been in the 80s yesterday. So it's not like it's cold out here at all. So I figured, you know, everything is room temperature. It's very moderate, so the clips shouldn't be an issue at all. So I start prying, and as I'm working my way back, though, the grill did twist a little bit, you know, from me using the clip to pull it up or what have you, but nothing out of the ordinary, nothing crazy, nothing that made me nervous. But of course, I did end up breaking some clips. All right, these are the clips. I will show you what they look like here. So as you can see, let me see if I can hold that. As you can see right here, these are the installed clips. This is a broken clip. Not only did I break that clip, but I broke 3 clips. I broke this one here into my chin, as well as that bottom corner there and that bottom corner there. All right, pain in the neck. So hopefully when I put the grill back on, it holds enough where it's not an issue, no rattle or anything like that. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to make a trip to either my Audi parts store or go on eBay or something to find a used grill. But anyway, that's not the point of this either. The point is that you still have to be extra careful as you're prying that grill off. And yes, this is for the Audi, you know, for my car, the S5, but that's something for any of these cars. If you're working in tight spaces, you know, I have to assume that even though my car is primarily garage kept, possibly the previous owner kept it outside or something like that. It's been in the sun, so when the sun's beating through the windshield, it makes these clips a little more brittle. And so then just the slightest little bit of torque and the clips themselves could snap off. That's what I'm assuming happened, because I really wasn't torquing it that much to pry it off, because I knew in advance that that could be an issue. Now, the other part was that front clip, that one broke off, but near the front. So it was just like right here, you know, literally sitting there. I was able to pick it up. Those back corner ones, though, they fell down inside where the defroster is, down where the regulators were. I was starting to freak out. That is probably the biggest concern that I had was losing something down inside of there, because once it goes down there, it could be down there forever without possibly having to remove the entire dash. And so, then every time you turn the AC on, it's rattling from the wind, or every time you hit a bump or whatever, or it could even get caught down into the regulators that actually open and close the flaps. They're all right there, for the flaps to put the air up for the defroster versus the ones that direct it in other places. And so panic mode was real close. I was able to, I said, okay, they're metal clips. Let me see if, hopefully I have a magnet somewhere, and hopefully they're magnetic. And so I searched around, and I did just happen to have a magnet. This guy right here, nice industrial magnet, like really strong. And yeah, let's see. But if I didn't have one, I was definitely making a quick run to my my parts store or big box store, what have you, to try and find one. But anyway, the plan was, obviously this is a little too small. I can't hold it. The whole problem is you can't get your hand down inside there. That cavity down there is ridiculous. And so you just have no space at all. So the magnet was to do the job. And what I did, I had some old speaker wire. I wanted something that was firm enough where I could guide the magnet, but still pliable enough where, where it'll make it past the windshield. So I tied it up with a bunch of knots to make sure it didn't come off, because the last thing I wanted to do was lose the magnet down there also. And I fished it down, and oh my goodness, surprisingly, amazingly, miraculously, I was able to get it, just a little click. It caught it, and I was able to pull it out on each side. I was able to get those clips out. Okay, so I guess maybe that is the message, the positive public service message for all of you out there, is that if you happen to break the clips, which it's very possible on no matter what car you have, if you're doing some work up on the dashboard and you're trying to get, panels off or what have you, and it falls into a very tight space, hopefully those clips are metal and not plastic. And if they are metal, well, hopefully you have a nice trusty magnet that you can use so that you can, fish it out and not have to live with it inside of your dash for the rest of your ownership of the car, or have to pay some big money or have some big time spent to pull a dashboard just to get a silly little clip that broke off. All right, so that being said, I'm going to start wrapping this video up, but I will show you, that's the speaker. That is the replacement speaker. Here is the cheap B&O OEM speaker. This one's very papery. That one is a much nicer stereo, or a much nicer speaker. It's only 2 bolts. Bruce Miranda, he goes and he literally preps the speakers for you. So all you have to do is, like, this speaker came with 4 mounting points, 4 of those little tabs where you can screw it down, whereas the OEM speaker only had 2. And so he goes and he cuts those off and finishes them off so that they fit perfectly inside of the dash. I don't remember what size speaker it was, because again, I'm not super prepared with this. I literally was just going to pop this in and keep it moving until my little mishap happened. But he finished it off very well. He even terminates the end of the wire with the correct clip so that it just clips right into the dash itself. It really is plug and play, and as long as you can get your speaker grills off without drama, it'll take you 5-10 minutes max to do this. I mean, it's that easy of a job. Speaker grill was hard though. That took me about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, because I had to go and search for a magnet and some wire. But anywho, so now the speaker grill goes back on top here. I do recommend that you test it. test your speaker before you put everything back. I have already done that. It sounds amazingly better. Like the highs, oh my goodness. The highs are so much brighter and crisper and cleaner. Okay, I guess that's probably the word that I'm looking for, is the cleanliness. Cleanliness? Yeah, it's clean. It is really nice how well, or how much better, when you get a better speaker in there that's just higher quality, it just sounds so much better. And so just from that, the highs and like the voices and, you know, the cymbals and just all those higher notes are just so much cleaner and crisper than they were with the original speaker. Again, I didn't think the original speakers, or at least that speaker, was horrible, but just that one speaker that I've replaced so far, and I'm doing all the doors also, as well as I'm going to tackle the A-pillars too. So just by making that change right there, though, I've noticed a big difference. So I'm really excited to get into this. I'm a little anxious because apparently I've got a reputation of breaking clips, but overall, it's been I'm noticing improvements already. So, you know, worth it. So anyway, as I wrap this video up, we're going to get this guy settled in here. Hopefully I can do this with one hand and not break anything. Please don't let me break anything else. All right, let's make our way to this side. I guess I don't really need to worry about that corner because I don't have that corner anymore. Oh, look at that though. It is a flush fit. Oh, that's fantastic. Sorry for the finger filter there. Oh, wow. That might work. I may not have to replace it. We'll see. But either way, that was my replacement of the center dash speaker for my 2022 Audi S5 B&O sound system. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more speakers to go. Oh gosh, all right. I realized I never introduced myself on this. For those of you new to the channel, I'm Chris from Auto Academics. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. Again, it was just a brief one, or maybe it wasn't that brief. I'm looking at the time. Holy moly, that was 18 minutes. I was rambling. But anyway, hopefully you enjoyed that video. Hopefully it's a little bit helpful for anybody who's changing out some speakers, whether you've got a Audi A5 or S5, or even if you just have some other vehicle. And this also works for Q5s and any of those vehicles that are in this size. They all have similar componentry. So again, hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It definitely helps the channel out. And you know, if you've been enjoying stuff like this, go ahead, feel free to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, because we could definitely use more subscribers. And you know, also hit the bell notification so that you know when I post some other videos like this. I don't know, I might show you guys a couple more speaker installs. We'll see how much my nerves are going. You know, it's always nerve-wracking to start cutting into vehicles that are still pretty new, you know, but that's all right. It's all good, especially if the rest of the speakers sound as good as that center speaker does. All right, again, I'm rambling, so I'm signing off now. I'm Chris from Auto Academics. Thanks for watching.